Hey guys, what's up? It's the Brony Crafter, and today, is WWE getting decent? This is the question we're going to be asking and answering today, and I am here with Brony459.
Yep, it's WWE Decent Now, and just in case you guys are wondering, we've been thinking of doing some wrestling topics that might seem controversial to some, and a lot probably just normal, but we have a few controversial topics we like to talk about, but that's not it today. So let's get right to it.
We're still gonna get hate for this either way, so it doesn't matter.
Let's just face it like this. For a future topic, you're probably gonna hate us depending on how you look at it. But let's not worry about that right now. Is the WWE decent now? I believe before we talk about this, we have to think about what it was like a few years back when it started getting PG.
Okay. I actually started watching wrestling back in 2010, 2011, back in the early days of the PG era. It was very, very safe. We had people like Hornswoggle, we had Sin Cara, who wasn't very interesting at the beginning. We got Alberto Del Rio, who I really hated. We had Jack Swagger. We had most of the people we have now. However, they were a lot worse back then.
Alright, as for me, I've been a wrestling fan throughout almost my entire life. Like, I can pretty much remember when I started watching wrestling, WrestleMania 19 just came out. And now it's 32, and now I'm getting old thinking about that. But, but there's no being around the bush. When the PG era started, WWE just sucked. I mean, there were a few good wrestlers here and there, and there were some good comedic wrestlers from time to time too. I like Prime Time and all. I mean, I thought they were a funny tag team. But as a whole, WWE just really wasn't as good, and I stopped watching. So if you want to know anything about the PG era from the beginning, I don't really know much, but I can tell you from what I know. From what I know, there was this little midget called Hornswoggle.
Don't get me started.
Hornswoggle to me was just a disgrace. Okay, I can like a good comedic wrestler, you know, a wrestler that's meant out there to be funny. But Hornswoggle is just too preschool comedy for me.
Yeah, and also, when they were first starting to get PG, I personally might know a lot more since I actually grew up around the early PG era.
Oh, you don't know. I grew up when John Cena was Thuganomics, so...
Yeah, poor me. I didn't grow up when he was Thuganomics. I grew up when he was Hustle, Loyalty, Fruity Pebbles. But, anyways, I stopped watching wrestling around early 2011. I remember I started reading the magazine, which they discontinued, but they still continue the kids one for some reason. I wonder why, probably because kids are very profitable. Anyways, I used to read the magazines a lot. I owned a John Cena poster once. You would never catch me with a John Cena poster. But back then, I was like, I love Cena right now. I was a Cena fanboy. Hustle, Loyalty, Fruity Pebbles. And I stopped watching it around late 2010, like very early 2011. I stopped watching around the Royal Rumble, and that's when, you know, I stopped watching wrestling. And then it kept popping up every now and then. I found out about the John Cena meme. I thought it was funny. I was like, you know, I haven't watched wrestling in years. Then my dad came up to me and was like, hey, we're gonna be watching a pay-per-view. And I was like, hey, I haven't watched one in years, because the last one I watched was Armageddon 2007, before I started watching wrestling again. And then my first pay-per-view was Money in the Bank, and that was a great pay-per-view to start off with.
Oh yeah, Money in the Bank was also my first pay-per-view, but that was mainly because I can still remember the days I was still a huge wrestling fan, and I decided, you know, WWE might suck from the last time I saw it, but, you know, it's been years, so they might have improved. And boy, have they improved. I just came in as, like, a wrestling fan. It's like, I'm not gonna come in, with that type of attitude. If it's not the Attitude Era, then it's not any good. I just look at it as as just a wrestling company, and in my opinion, has WWE improved from the past couple of years? Oh yes, it has.
Yes, they have. I think the worst years of WWE were 2010 to arguably 2012. Although WrestleMania 28 kind of helped that void.
Yeah. So we've been watching. So I've been pretty much been watching the pay-per-views ever since there was Money in the Bank, which was an awesome pay-per-view. Battlefields was alright. It just seemed very lackluster from what it was promoted like. And what was after Battlefield?
That was SummerSlam.
Okay, SummerSlam was a great pay-per-view.
It was. And like I said before this, I haven't watched wrestling in years, so I was like, what's gonna happen? I don't know what's going on. Are they still PG? Is John Cena still around? I didn't know. But once I got back into it, kind of like watching a TV show you haven't seen in years. It seems like you never stop watching it. There's still Monday Night Raw, there's still SmackDown, there's still NXT, which is better than Raw and SmackDown at the moment. They still have, all the small shows like Main Event and Superstars. They still have all the pay-per-views. Some of them changed, like they removed bragging rights. They removed what are the other ones? They removed most of the brand-specific ones. What's the other ones that they?
I'm gonna just say this one, and it's a little off topic, but have you remember a pay-per-view called Taboo Tuesday or Cyber Sunday?
Oh my god. I remember watching a bit of Taboo Tuesday and Cyber Sunday. I could barely get through one match. It was just, I didn't like it.
Personally, I thought it was a really great idea. It really felt like how fans actually control the pay-per-view. And honestly, I think they should just bring back the idea, but maybe with a little bit more better choices. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah, and I grew up watching wrestling around people you'd never see, like Mickey James and Beth Phoenix and people like that. When I saw these, I was like, who are these Bella things? Like
Bella twins.
Yeah, who are these Bella twins? Then I started watching them. And then I started hating them. Then my hate got more and more passionate as I went on.
Alright. Okay, well, now here's a question I believe people want to ask. What makes WWE decent now? For me, this is what kind of makes decent. For one, it was definitely better than what it was a few years ago. The wrestling is actually decent. The wrestling's actually decent, and they can actually have a few matches that can be completely outstanding.
Yes. Do I have to mention the 8-man tag team match from Monday Night Raw?
That's an example. There's Dean Ambrose versus Seth Rollins ladder match. There was both the TLC matches from this past pay-per-view.
Yeah, it was really amazing. It's
pretty much like this with the matches nowadays. There's some matches that are pretty much just your average matches, and then there are your matches that are pretty much good and are a little bit more than average. And you do have some matches that are pretty good. But then if you're lucky enough nowadays, and I mean this in a good way, if you're lucky enough, you'll just get a match that you just want to watch again.
Yeah, and there is a number of things that make it kind of decent now. And then again, it's not the product that it was pre-Seth Rollins injury, because before then, WWE was actually good. It's nothing particularly like abysmal, but it's nothing like amazingly great either. It's kind of like in the middle. It's decent.
Yeah, I look at it more for how much wrestlers they still have left. Since it's not particularly their fault where the guys are going right now, and for the guys they still have left, they're still doing really good at it.
Yeah, and seeing as they're a lot of people jump on the PG era because it's not the Attitude era, but let me let me tell you guys something about PG. I like PG more, no, not because I grew up around the PG era, but because it's safer. It's no more no holds bar matches, which is safer for the wrestlers. Although that didn't save Rollins from being injured, but whatever.
And then stop that, that tag team match from last night.
Yeah, and it's just something that is a product that you can watch over again and still be kind of entertaining, just by sometimes at how just kind of how silly some of the stuff can get. I mean, sometimes it gets really, really awful. Like
any moment the New Day is out is when it's awful.
I disagree with you. I will happily say that their promo on Raw was one of the best things ever. So yeah.
They were racist against the unicorns. Do you know how I feel about that?
Yeah, I know how you feel about that. But whatever. Who cares? It's the New Day, cause New Day rocks. New Day rocks. New Day rocks. Sorry.
It's fun.
But anyways, there are a number of things that make it good, and one of the things are the tag teams.
Okay, yeah, the tag teams are definitely getting more superior as it goes on. I mean, okay, but the Primetime Players were a really good tag team I liked before they, for some reason, disappeared. The ECW Originals, I'm not really a fan of the comeback because, I don't know, they just need to be winning more often.
Yeah, they've lost too many matches. Like, same with the Dudleys. Like, they've been losing a lot more matches since they came back. Like, I remember back in ECW days, they would be unstoppable. Like, you would never see them lose a match. But now they're losing like every match against the Wyatts. Why are they in the feud with the Wyatts? I don't get this. Too many stables, League of Losers, the Usos, Lucha Dragons, New Day, the ECW Originals, the Wyatts, the Family, I guess is what they're called. They have too many stables.
Okay, yeah, but besides the too many staples, a lot of the staples are actually really good. I do like the tag team of Seth, of Dean Ambrose, Roman Reigns, and the Usos. I started out having mixed opinions over the Wyatt family, but I've actually grown to like them more than I hate them. Primetime Players I liked. I don't know what they disappeared.
Because of Vince, that's why.
Vince. New Day I honestly cannot stand because they show a prime example of why I hated WWE a few years back. Seriously, I do.
Oh.
Seriously, I wouldn't even be surprised if Hornswoggle is part of that team.
Bruh, I'm sorry. I'm not gonna take this back. They're the best part of Monday Night Raw right now. Come at me.
No, Roman Reigns is right now. And Dean Ambrose. And the Usos and the Lucha Dragons.
I will admit, Dean Ambrose is awesome. He's my favorite wrestler of all time. And I see why he's IC champion right now.
Oh yeah. Now let's talk. Now, if there's one thing I do have to get criticism for WWE, is I believe there is a lot of talent they still push back, as in they really don't show them anymore. Like the Big Show, Mark Henry, and Primetime Players, and Brock Lesnar all just seemingly disappear. And I mean, it's like this. Brock Lesnar won the Hell in the Cell match against Undertaker, and then after that he was just vanished.
Well, here's the thing. Brock Lesnar has a reason. He has a part-time contract. People like Big Show, Mark Henry, they don't have part-time contracts. They don't. Brock does because he's not available 100% at the time, so he has a part-time contract. But Brock Lesnar and Big Show and Mark Henry don't. And the reason they're not fighting as much is, I don't know, because they both should retire. They've been fighting since the Attitude Era. Why can't we just have a retirement match for them? WrestleMania 32, book it, Vince. Big Show versus Mark Henry, retirement match, end of story.
Book it to the T. If you see what I did there, I'm so sorry about that.
I hate you.
Now, okay, and speaking of talent, they still push back. If we remember from yesterday on Monday, or by this time this was recording, R-Truth versus Bo Dallas. I mean, okay, this looks like an average match to me, but you have to have Vince walk in and interrupt it. Why not have a match between two people who've all been wrestling a lot lately? It's just two guys who haven't wrestled in about 2 or 3 months and just decide, nope, no match. Rollins is gonna get fired.
Vince stopped it because he didn't believe.
I don't know if I should love you because I like corny jokes, or I don't know if I should just like 3D you through a table right now.
Both.
Probably.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm out of ideas.
Well, let me talk about some of the greatest matches that we've had this year. We had Seth Rollins versus Brock Lesnar versus John Cena at the Royal Rumble this year. We had some match at Fastlane. We had Reigns versus Lesnar at WrestleMania, almost match of the year. No, not match of the year, because match of the year goes to Elimination Chamber versus... no, it's John Cena versus Kevin Owens at Elimination Chamber. But no, that goes to John Cena versus Kevin Owens at Money in the Bank. No, but that goes to John Cena versus Kevin Owens at Battlegrounds. And Money in the Bank's match of the night was officially Dean Ambrose versus Seth Rollins. And match of the night for SummerSlam was... People are gonna hate me. Seth Rollins versus John Cena. That's why. Mostly because Jon Stewart. Thank you, John.
Jon Stewart.
Night Champions match of the night. Rollins versus Cena. Again.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Although he lost.
Yeah. Hell in a Cell. Lesnar versus
Undertaker.
Taker was match of the night. And Survivor Series. Reigns versus Ambrose.
Definitely.
I'm gonna go with that.
You cannot tell me that was a dream match you and I both want to see.
And that's ironic because that was the 25th anniversary of the Undertaker, the 25th anniversary of one of the scariest men in WWE. And what do? They give him a match. That's it. It wasn't really all that special to me. I
can understand probably. Okay, I can understand the tournament finals being the main event, but no wait. Okay, no wait. The Undertaker's The Brothers of Destruction versus the Wyatt family was the second to last match. Yeah. The thing, I mean, The Undertaker is my personal all-time favorite wrestler. The reason why is because, to be honest, without him, I probably would not even ever been into wrestling. I mean, yes, there are still guys I love almost just as much as The Undertaker, but he was the reason why I keep watching.
Yeah. And match of the night for TLC was no doubt the Usos versus the New Day versus the Lucha Dragons for the WWE Tag Team Championships in a triple threat tag team ladder match. That was awesome.
That was a spectacular. This is what I was talking about. That when you just get to WWE at the right moment, sometimes you just get to that match you just want to watch again. Because it was just that spectacular.
It was. It was amazing.
To me, those matches I'll list in that category right now were Dean Ambrose versus Seth Rollins and Money in the Bank. Definitely that TLC match, and I guess you can include the tournament finals between Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns, despite what happened afterwards.
Yeah.
And definitely Roman Reigns versus Sheamus from last night.
Well, you're talking about Raw, not TLC. Okay.
Yeah, I'm talking about Raw. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that was a great match. But I really have to say, I didn't care for the match between Reigns and Sheamus at TLC. I mean, I liked their match on Raw, mostly because I thought it was much better than TLC. I mean, TLC was... It's sponsored by Toys R Us, first off. That's a minus right there. Second, that's exactly what it is. It's playing with toys. And if you take the toys away, would it be interesting? No.
How is playing with ladders, tables, and chairs toys?
Oh, well.
Yeah.
They're scary toys, that's what they are. But
oh yeah, I mean, I just like have a chainsaw in my hands. It's like, dude, really, a chainsaw? You're playing with a toy? And I just like turn on the chainsaw, have the blade next to the guy's face, and it's like, dude, seriously, put that toy away.
yeah, you're calling this a toy? You're calling this a toy? But
Mcmahon would disagree with you on that.
yeah. So I think the answer you guys are looking for is yes.
Definitely.
They're getting more confident in their booking, even though they have to improve a ton. Once Rollins comes back and Cena's back and Cesaro's back and Orton's back, it'll be back on track. That rhymes.
In my opinion, I definitely say yes. I mean, don't get me... Here's the thing with me and wrestling fans right now. I do not like the attitude they have. It's like, if it's not from the Attitude Era, and it sucks. I mean, don't get me wrong. The Attitude Era is definitely what made WWE the biggest company it is today.
Yeah.
However, that doesn't mean it's bad now. I mean, yeah, it's not as extreme or violent as it used to be, but at the same time, does it really have to? I mean, I watch it for good wrestling. I watch it for the good wrestling, and they deliver that just fine in WWE.
Plus, if it's not extreme, I find that more safe. So that way you don't risk more injuries. So that way you don't get more instances. I can't talk. More chances of people getting injured, like Rollins or Cena or Orton or Cesaro or Tyson Kidd or anyone. It's not or Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan. But yeah, I think they're improving. They do have to improve a lot more, but I'm pretty sure they will in the following weeks.
It's like, yeah, don't get me wrong. WWE still has some areas to work on. However, from the areas they have improved on, yep, they definitely have improved. They have at least make it watchable, and the wrestling is actually decent.
Yeah.
I just wish they can stop making a lot of matches end in disqualification. Don't remind me of that Raw episode like 3 weeks ago. Like, no.
Oh my god, I hate
That's like
when huge matches end in disqualification. And the worst part is that most of the time, it's completely predictable.
It's like here's the thing: if a match is going to end in disqualification, it has to be like unrealistic. It's kind of this is one thing WWE has to work on. Okay, if you're going to have a match end in disqualification, it has to be somewhat of a realistic way, because usually that gets irritating. It's like one guy hits the other guy so hard, the guy man hit him with a chair, ends in DQ. Like, it has to be like a really big rivalry in order for disqualification to work.
Yeah. Plus, most of the time, Raw is practically it's a checkbook list. Start with 20-minute promo. Stupid Michael Cole, stupid JBL, stupid Byron Saxton. Then random match, random jobber match, commercial, video package, build up for a main event at a pay-per-view. 6-man tag match, lather, rinse, repeat. Lather, rinse, repeat. End of Raw. That's exactly how it is.
I like how you mentioned every commentator except for Jerry Lawler. But he was like the only good one over there, so I don't blame you.
Yeah, because Jerry Lawler is not on Raw, he's on SmackDown.
Oh.
And we never count SmackDown for obvious reasons.
Oh, okay.
And plus, if I could give one piece of advice for WWE, no, it's gonna be multiple pieces. 1, get rid of Byron Saxton. 2, bring back Jerry Lawler. 3, bring the intros back. 4, have it go back to 2 hours instead of 3. Because 3 hours makes me want to take a tablespoon of NyQuil and go to sleep. 5, make entertaining rivalries. And if you're going to have a romance, do it right. No more of this, oh, I'm faking injury stuff. Like what you're doing with Rusev and Lana and Ryback.
Number 7, stop making pretty much every match end in disqualification like one every night.
Oh yeah, stop making it end in DQ every single Raw. In at least one match in every Raw, there's gonna be one DQ finish.
And every match on that night, it's usually the unrealistic one that will pretty much end in DQ. I mean, I do not mind if a match ends in disqualification if it works for the story. And if it's realistic, that might end in that way. And sometimes they can make it like that, but usually it's like, oh, he hit me too hard in the head. I'm angry. Grabs chair, smashes chair, like when Sheamus and Randy Orton have that short feud.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Like Sheamus and Randy Orton had like a short feud a few months ago, and like 2 of the matches ended DQ. And yeah.
And their whole reason was he hit me, and I want revenge. It's like, bruh,
and then just
what's wrong with you?
And you hit me too hard. I grabs the chair, throws it at him. Match over. Randy Orton wins by DQ, some shit like that.
Yeah, but plus handle the NXT rookies better. And I'm not talking about on NXT. That's fine. Triple H is doing a fantastic job with NXT right now.
I think it's William Regal who's in charge of NXT, ain't it?
Well, both of them technically. Then, if you're gonna treat the NXT people like this is where the big boys play, let them kind of fight more and win more. Let me talk about Tyler Breeze for just a sec. I know you hate him, but let me talk about Tyler Breeze for a sec. He has 1 win and 5 losses. It doesn't matter who he lost to. It's just the fact that he's won once, and that's it. If he didn't win at Survivor Series, he'd be 0-6 right now.
Let me guess. He won against Zack Ryder. He won against R-Truth, and so I guess that's 3. I guess he won against one other person after Survivor Series, so that makes 4. But I believe the rest of his matches were losses.
Yeah, it's just awful, and there's so many people that in NXT, they don't want to be called up because they know the consequences. Like Finn Balor, I read this thing where he didn't want to actually be called up because he wanted to spend more time with NXT. I don't blame him. And with people like Bayley and Sasha Banks and Charlotte and people like that who put on match after match, like 5-star matches. Like, I remember I watched Sasha Banks versus Bayley like twice. I couldn't stop watching it. Now, Sasha Banks was on the pre-show of TLC. On the pre-show! She was the NXT Women's Champion. And she's being treated like that? No. Just, no. That's not worth it at all. In my opinion, if you're gonna bring NXT rookies up to the main roster, have them win championships. Heck, if Finn Balor gets called up to the main roster, have him win a small title. Have him win the U.S. title for all I care. How ironic would that be? But Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens, for example. When he first debuted in NXT, he was a strong man. Like, he was like a huge man who just wanted to fight people. And before Raw on the 14th of December, he was just kind of losing a lot. Like, he was good, but he was kind of just there. And the part that really irks me is that on the 14th, he was the Kevin Owens we saw debut in NXT. He was the brash guy who just wanted to punch people in the face. And that's how Vince should call up people to the main roster. But, you know, since Kevin Dunn's on the writing team, we can't have that, can we? And since we have a lot of people who want to be on the main roster, I'm sure they want to be on the main roster. However, they don't want to be called up because they know what will happen. They'll be buried and buried and buried. Remember Bo Dallas? Yeah, I don't. He's on Superstars every week. Yeah, that's where Bo Dallas is. He was on the pre-show for Survivor Series. That's the biggest stage he's ever been on. You would never see him win the Royal Rumble. That'd be hilarious if that happened. You would never see him win the Royal Rumble. You would never see him headline WrestleMania. You would never see him do anything. Why? Because Vince has no idea what to do with him. God.
Triple H and Stephanie McMahon have been handling the company better now.
Yes. And thank God.
And you've been like on this 5-minute rant where I've just been singing his silent in the background.
Yeah. And I've been on this rant mostly because I don't find it worthy of not making a whole video about it. I'm not going to make a whole video about it because that'd be tacky. Let me just make a video within a video so that way I have a rant in there. That way people can get angry at me and rage at me in the comments. But yeah, in my opinion, besides bringing up the NXT rookies, WWE is doing pretty decent right now.
And plus,
my rant is over.
And plus, what you explain in your rant, pretty much what makes Kevin Owens underrated wrestler of 2015. Definitely.
Hint.
Kevin,
hint.
I'm gonna say it. Kevin Owens, underrated wrestler of 2015.
Yes.
Like seriously, people, he might be an asshole, but he's awesome.
Yeah. So guys, that's about it. We'll be discussing another topic hopefully soon. And if not, we'll be doing our predictions for the Royal Rumble for 2016. So guys, if you want to see videos weekly, you can click on that red button down there. And if you want to subscribe to Lucky's channel, you can click on the link below. Yeah guys, and I'm the Brony Crafter.
And Brony459. Do you think WWE is getting decent right now like we do, or do you think anything different? Tell us what you think.
Yep, tell us in the comments below, and we will see y'all later. Peace out.
See ya.